All right, guys. So I'm going to be showing you some information here. Let a few people get in here real quick. So I know there's a lot of people talking about this right now, but let me see. Let's wait for a few people to get in here real quick. Let's see. There we go. We're starting to get some people in here now. What is going on, everybody? There's picking my witches. So Fly Mama, Linda, Cool Gamer, Thunder Plums, True Nut Crime, Honey Badger, Val, Lisa, Spread Love Not Hate, Sweet Candy. What's up, everybody? What is up? I got some stuff, some interesting stuff you might want to see. Got 52 people in here. Let's see, we'll wait for a few more people to get in here. So, what's everybody heard so far? Kim. And the information that I got, I need to, first of all, want to say a big thank you to Amy. I don't want to give her last name out, but thank you, Amy, for the information. Always give people a big shout out when they help me out. A lot of things. He was 45 minutes from my family in Pennsylvania. That's scary. Wow. Yeah, Val says 45 minutes from my family. Let's see. He was a heavy heroin user in high school. Wow. Heard he was a security officer local. Yeah, he was. All right. So speaking of all this, guys, let me see if I can get these documents pulled up here, and we'll go over them real quick. It's not going to be a big long live, but we'll go over these documents real quick. Let me see if I can get them pulled up here. Give me just a second. All right. So this is. All right, give me just a second. Here's the affidavit. I've got the affidavit of probable cause on Mr. Bryan Kohberger for today. Pretty neat, guys. Pretty neat. All right, guys. Here's the police criminal. Let me see. Yeah. Let me make this. Hold on just a second, guys. Here you go. Can y'all read that? All right. So ignore the date up here that said the date's wrong. Defendant's name, Bryan Christopher Kohberger. It's kind of hard to read, but I'll read it for you. It says, your affiant is Trooper Justin Leary of Pennsylvania State Police. Troop in since 2009. Served as detective with the Lackawanna County District Attorney's Office. A special agent with the Pennsylvania Office of Attorney General, a task force officer with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and currently as a trooper with the Pennsylvania State Police Troop in Vice Unit. Throughout my career, I have conducted hundreds of criminal investigations, including numerous homicide investigations. Your affiant is Trooper Brian V. Knoll. Tells a little bit about him. Throughout his career, he's investigated numerous investigations It says here at the bottom, on Thursday, December 30th, 2022, the Pennsylvania State Police were assisting the Moscow Police Department, Moscow, Idaho, Idaho State Police, FBI, with a criminal homicide investigation. On the same date, Bryan Kohberger was taken into custody in Chestnut Hill Township, Monroe County, Pennsylvania, based upon an active arrest warrant for murder in the first degree issued through the Moscow Police Department and Ladau County Prosecutor's Office, Idaho. The arrest warrant was confirmed through NCIC with NCIC, and there's the NCIC number. And then down here, it's basically just, where someone signs off on it. What y'all think about that? I believe it's a verse that is that not the Idaho affidavit, but it's Pennsylvania. Yeah, it's Pennsylvania affidavit. Yeah, it's Pennsylvania affidavit. And I got something I want to show you here too, guys. If y'all kind of want to see a glimpse into probably what I got one more document to show you guys. But if you want to see a glimpse into probably what's going to happen Tuesday when he goes in front of the judge, let me pull something up here and I'll show it to you. Let's see.
Over the past...
Give me just a second, guys. This is something you can that he can probably expect when he goes in front of the judge Tuesday for his extradition thing. So. Yeah, let me get this pulled up here. So here is here's a little bit of information on the extradition for Bryan. This is probably a little bit of what he'll experience Tuesday when he goes in front of the judge. So let me mute my mic and let you listen to this. This is Letitia Stout. If y'all ain't familiar with the Gannon Stout case out of Colorado, she brutally done that little boy in, was his stepmom. And they call her Myrtle Beach. Judge, as you'll hear, he wasn't too fond of her when dealing with her extradition issue there. So, and this will give you a little bit of insight into probably what Bryan's going to go through at his extradition thing probably on Tuesday. So, hang on, let me get this up here and play it for you, and it'll give you a little insight into it.
Okay, is this Miss Staunch? Stout? I knew whichever way I went I'd be wrong, but okay. I don't know how much you know about the extradition proceeding. Do you know anything about extradition? Well, you're going to learn. This morning you have a decision to make. You can either waive extradition, and the state of Colorado has 20 days to come get.
Can you guys hear that? Let me know in the chat if you can hear that. Okay. Thank you, Linda. All right, let me keep playing it, and you guys can kind of get an insight as to what Bryan's probably going to go through.
Get you, which, to be quite honest about it, under the facts of this particular situation, I have a feeling it'd be much shorter than that. But anyway, you have 20. They'll have 20 days to come get you, or you can fight extradition. Fighting extradition means that, and this is a guesstimate on my part, that it would be about maybe 90 days from now, the Attorney General from the state of South Carolina would hold a extradition hearing where he has to prove two things: that you are Miss Stouch, Miss Stouch, and that you are wanted for a felony in the state of Colorado. It's not a very high bar for them to jump over, but that is the standard in a extradition hearing. So my question to you is, do you want to waive extradition, or do you want to fight extradition?
So when you said something about fighting it, I have to do what now?
Well, you don't have to do anything. You just have to sit until the hearing comes up. But otherwise, the state of Colorado has, if you waive extradition, they have 20 days to come get you. I would be surprised if they weren't already in the air, but that's just me. I have no factual basis for that, but I've just...
They were here yesterday, that's who actually came.
Oh, okay. So what you want to do, young lady? You want to waive extradition, or you want to fight?
So there's a hearing here, what does that mean? They decide to determine what? If the hearing is here, what does that decide?
It just decides whether you go back to Colorado or not.
Well, I've still never been given the opportunity, like, since the beginning, to even call my attorney and even talk to him about any of these things.
Well, where's your attorney?
All right, guys. I got someone in here that says, "Who is this woman?" Okay, Cheryl, this is Letitia Stout. She brutally done her little stepson in Colorado a couple years ago and fled to. She dumped his body over a bridge in Florida in a suitcase. They found her in Myrtle Beach, arrested her. And this is the judge going over her extradition stuff right here. So I'm just playing this in case nobody has ever seen an extradition thing in front of a judge. This gives you a little insight as to maybe what Bryan's going to go through Tuesday when they start talking extradition with him in front of the judge. So this will give y'all a little bit of an insight as to maybe what Bryan's going to go through Tuesday when he goes in front of the judge.
I need to call my friend Laura, who has the attorney, but I was told yesterday that someone was going to do that, but they never did.
Okay.
I've asked since yesterday that I call an attorney.
Well, it doesn't matter either way to me, because I'm just asking the question. I don't care what the answers are. If you waive extradition, I will sign the extradition order, and they'll bring it back there for you to consent to. If you fight extradition, then they'll just have an extradition hearing sometime in the future. And the problem with fighting extradition is that the time you spend sitting waiting for the extradition hearing is always considered to be your time, not Colorado or whatever.
Okay. ML, this is not Bryan's girlfriend. This is Letitia Stout, and this happened 2 years ago, 3 years ago. She, a little boy to, and pew-pewed him and dumped his body off a bridge in Florida. They picked her up in South Carolina at Myrtle Beach, and this was her extradition hearing. And a lot of people are probably like, and if you're not familiar with the Gannon Stout case, I would definitely look that up. That was my first case ever covered in true crime. I covered in true crime. And anyway, a lot of people are like, what's Bryan going to go through in his extradition hearing? But this is not Bryan's girlfriend. This woman is from Colorado, And this is just an example of an extradition process in front of a judge. So this is just an example of what Bryan is probably going to go through Tuesday when he goes before a judge, and the judge asks him, do you want to waive extradition? Do you want to fight it? So this kind of gives you guys an insight into how judges talk to the criminals about their extradition. So this is a little bit about this is a little example of maybe what Bryan's going to be. Of course, this was during the C word, so they had to do it by Zoom. But I have a feeling Bryan will be in front of a judge face to face. But yeah, like Sarah Jane said, he's just playing this to show us about extradition, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't know anything about how the extradition process plays out in front of the judge, and this is what Bryan's going to go through Tuesday. This is exactly what he's going to go through. This is what the judge is going to ask him, and this is exactly what he's going to go through. So let me keep playing it here for you.
Whatever the requesting state's time is, so you don't get any credit. It's like, I won't say wasting your time, but and there are very few. This isn't legal advice, but I'll tell you, there's very few defenses to extradition. But it's your choice.
Oh, so you're saying it's not like a guarantee, it's just a hearing?
It's just a hearing where they have to prove you are who you are and that you're wanted for a felony. Those are the two things they have to prove in an extradition hearing. That's all. So I mean, if you are who you are and you're wanted for a felony in Colorado, it won't do much good fighting an extradition hearing.
Oh, you're saying they have to prove that. I see what you're saying. I understand now. So,
Yes.
So yeah.
Okay, what you want to do, young lady?
So Colorado.
Okay, well, I'll sign the extradition order, and they'll bring it back for you to consent to. Now, of course.
Listen to this part right here, guys. Listen to this part. This is where the judge kind of rips her a new ass. I hope the judge rips Bryan a new ass when he goes in front of him, but this is where the judge kind of rips her a new ass and puts her in her place right here. So watch this. This is real interesting.
It wouldn't have mattered if you waived or not waived. When somebody's somebody is a fugitive from one state, I don't let them be a fugitive from two states. So it's not like if you answered either way, it would make any difference as far as the hearing today goes, because I'm not going to set bond. Of course, with the charges that are involved, I couldn't set bond anyway, I don't think. Anyway.
Yeah, I didn't run from you guys, so I don't have any trouble with you guys too. I didn't even know anything until yesterday, so the date on that paper you have is wrong.
Well, let me tell you something else, and I didn't go into all this. But now that we've decided what we're going to do in this particular hearing, because of the charges you're charged with as far as today's concerned, I don't believe I'd say too much more.
Oh, tell her, Judge. Tell her, shut the fuck up. And she does too, guys. She shuts up. So let me replay that. I mean, he rips her new ass. He tells her like it is, because she's trying to manipulate everybody, is what she's trying to do. And the judge was on to it, and she's trying to play stupid. And let me replay that. I love that. I love that from the judge. If I was you, I probably wouldn't say too much from here on out. And boy, she shuts the hell up too. Let's replay that.
You're charged with as far as what I'm going to do in this particular hearing, because of the charges you're charged with as far as today's concerned, I don't believe I'd say too much more. Okay? All right. They'll bring the order back to you to sign in a moment. All right. Consent to, okay?
Okay.
All righty.
All right, guys. So that's a little bit. That's an example of probably. That's an example of probably what Bryan's going to go through Tuesday when he goes before the judge to, they have their little extradition thingy. Yeah, Dana, I love the way that judge talked to her too. Yeah, it's funny because her name is Stalk, and he kept calling her Staunch. I like that too. I love that judge, Miss Staunch. Let me pull up because didn't Bryan? I think Bryan was in a HOA. Where Bryan was arrested. I've actually got the HOA notification that went out to everybody, or I've got the HOA notification about the FBI going in there and getting Bryan. So I think this went out to everybody that was living in the area where Bryan was arrested, just so they would know what's going on. Let me see if I can get this pulled up here. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, here it is, guys. Here it is. So this is the HOA letter that went out. Association News, Indian Mountain Lake, FBI raid. Dear members, we have been made aware that a suspect was taken into custody in Indian Mountain Lake community last night. When was this? This was December 30th, so that's today. So he was actually taken into custody late in the evening on the 29th. This is a developing story. No information regarding the incident. We are following the story like everyone else. We would like to thank the FBI and law enforcement for their hard work in keeping our community safe. At this time, we have no comment. All questions should be directed to law enforcement. And this is just a letter that went out to the community there. And this is a letter that was made up by the Homeowners Association, I guess, HOA. So that's what went out to everybody. So what do you guys think about all that? What do you guys think about all that? Let me know. You want me to throw the affidavit back up? Let y'all take another gander at that? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, like I said, I done a live today, but I deleted it because I wasn't feeling it. But okay, great and powerful. I'll get it back up here. But yeah, they probably wanted the element of surprise on him, so they done it, in the dark of night. So yeah, let me get that back up here for you, the affidavit here. Let's see here, guys. All right, so here's the affidavit. And again, it basically the good stuff is down toward the bottom, and it basically says on December 30th, 2022, Pennsylvania State Police were assisting Moscow Police Department and the FBI with a criminal homicide investigation. On the same date, Bryan C. Kohberger was taken into custody in Chestnut Hill Township, Monroe County, Pennsylvania, based on an active arrest warrant for murder in the first degree issued through the Moscow Police Department in Layham County and the Layham County Prosecutor's Office. So this here is the affidavit of probable cause for his arrest in Pennsylvania. And something neat to take a look at here, guys. Something neat to take a look at here. So, what's everybody else hearing today? What's everybody else hearing? Have you heard any new information? I know that there's rumor going around out there that he was the brother of some girl that maybe lived next to 1122 King. Have y'all heard anything about that? Has anything come to light about that information? So this is very, very fluid, guys. I mean, we're learning stuff on the go as we, we're just going to learn from each other. I mean, as the information comes in, it's coming in from every direction. So, we'll get what we can get. And but yeah, I kind of wonder, because people were saying that he could have been the brother of some girl that was staying next to 1122 King Road. Emily, that's her name. Yeah. Thank you, Tricia. Emily. Anybody heard anything on that? Kitty has a lot of rumors, but I heard it was David Elkin's sister. Not this guy. All rumor to me so far. Okay, that helps me out. So I was kind of wondering about that. They got the car. So they got the Hyundai Elantra. Now I don't know if the Hyundai Elantra is in Pennsylvania. I assume it is. So they're probably going to extradite it. They're going to have to probably tow it all the way back to Idaho. Makes you wonder how much evidence is going to be in that Hyundai Elantra, guys. And Boo Sheet said, Don B, you seen the video of the guy that claims to have family in law enforcement, and he tells how things happen step by step. What time does Green and possibly murder? Oh, okay. No, not heard about that. Yeah, I know Emily's in Mexico. Here's Jada says there's a rumor about the party. And some of the guys saying an old dude. See, I'm still wondering about the what was the stalker thing actually real? Remember how the police said they couldn't verify that there actually was a stalker? Well, I mean, what about now? I mean, this is all going to come out. This is all going to come to light eventually. But he was a security officer at a high school. I got that information too. Yeah, I got that information too. So, let me see. Let's see here. Give me just a second. He was a security guard at Pleasant Valley High School during the C word. Pleasant Valley High School, guys. He was a security guard. So, everybody that knows this dude or have talked to him at some point, they need to at least call the prosecutor's office and say, hey, what I know about him, can it be useful in the prosecution? Because you never know. I mean, what if, 2 years ago he talked about doing some people in, and now it's come to light. You know what I mean? That person would definitely be a hell of a witness on the stand if this went to trial. You know what I mean? especially about his behavior, some things maybe that he said prior to this, maybe a year or two before all this happened. There again, did anybody miss any red flags in this dude's behavior? What about that? Were there any red flags that may have said, hey, dude ain't right here, maybe police need to look into him before all this happened? Maybe not. A lot of times they don't, the red flag, maybe a lot of times red flags are very, very minimal at best, and people just brush it off as, someone being weird, socially awkward, stuff like that. So, wonder if there were any red flags in dude's behavior prior to all this, because, there could be one or two or three people out there that been like, oh my God, he did do it. I remember him saying something about wanting to, do some people in and talking weird stuff. And now they're probably going, oh my God, he really done it. That's exactly how sometimes this stuff goes down. In 2020, he may have told someone, he had a fantasy about, poking a bunch of people. And now here it is 2022 and he done it. That person would be a hell of a witness on the stand. So, wonder what caused him. Do y'all think? Let me ask you this: he had. Oh, Sweet Candy says he has a master's degree in criminal law. He also had an office at the. I'm thinking they said he had an office at the Washington University over there too. So this guy was watching all of this unfold as it unfolded, I'm sure. They said something about they had a search warrant for his office at the college that he worked at, University of Washington. Yeah, Gail. University of Washington had a search warrant for that, a search warrant for the house that he was in last night, search warrant for the car. And a lot of people are saying that he was on heroin. Michelle Davis said his mom turned him in. Let's see, there's lots of chatter that he was heavy on heroin and his mom turned him in. Well, good for her if she did. Wow, listen to this, guys. Crystal says he called into a podcast and Twitter has the call. Wow. So, and another good point, guys, another good point. If what is it? If they had said who they were looking for up until this point, somebody would have went after him. Cops wouldn't have got to him in time. Somebody would have, that man, they would, you talk about some vigilante justice. And this is the reason why a lot of cops, police, they keep this stuff, on the down low because, I bet you, if I was a betting man, I bet if this dude's name got out, police would have been cleaning up a mess on him. What do y'all think? So, As said, Crystal says the call is all over Twitter. He was trying to blame frat boys. The podcaster turned the call into FBI. Wow. So he was trying to manipulate. He was trying to manipulate it, wasn't he? If this is true, he was trying to manipulate everything. I really hated to see, though. I really hated to see everybody kind of go at law enforcement the way they did, for keeping everything so secretive. I did. I really hated to see everybody kind of go at them because of that. But as we see, this is the result of them keeping everything so secretive. They got their man, and like Chief Rice said, we do have to keep everything secret because it's homicide investigation, and there's reasons why they keep it secret. Number one, someone could take justice into their own hands, and number two, they want to get the guy. So, police have every right to keep what they have secret, especially like in this case. We were all thinking maybe the perpetrator, we didn't even know who the perpetrators were. There was like two Jacks, an Adam, a hoodie guy, the grub truck guy, you name it. We had no clue. This blindsided us, guys. We had no clue that this was going to happen. Social media sleuths were all over this. They were on this like stink on shit. And boy, had no clue. I don't think nobody mentioned this dude's name. Now, I wonder if he was at one of the parties. I wonder if he was at one of the vigils. So, hey, Bo Pace. Good to see you too. Tevi says this was an amazing day. Val says that's a good question. Guys, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out now. We got some pretty good sleuths on social media. So maybe we'll get a lot of information coming out, before he makes it back to Idaho. And we'll get a clearer picture of, this guy's mentality and how he was acting maybe before the crime and after the crime. You know what I mean? So, but that's pretty much it, guys. I want to get on here and show you the affidavit and the FBI paper and a little look into the extradition thing. So, did that give you guys a good example of probably what he's going to go through Tuesday when he goes before the judge for extradition? I don't know if y'all have ever seen anything like that before or not, but when I seen it a couple years ago, I thought, wow, this is how it goes down. Never seen an extradition thing before, so now, to me, that's the only one I knew to look up to give you guys an example on whether it would be a good example of what Bryan's going to go through Tuesday. I hope the judge gives him hell too. That judge is talking to Letitia Stout, man. I loved the way he talked to her. Told her, said, if I was you, with the charges on you, he said, I wouldn't say too much if I was you. Basically telling her to shut the hell up. So anyway, guys, I hope you liked the little live. Give it a thumbs up. If you're on replay, drop some comments. Let me know what you think about it. And I'll be on here tomorrow, and we'll go over some, if any new news comes out, new information, whatever, we'll go over it and analyze it and everything. But I really want to get in this guy's head and see what he was thinking prior to the murders and post murders, you know. So, but stay tuned. Be on the lookout for some videos. We'll analyze a few things if it comes out, and one day at a time, guys. One day at a time. So till then, see you on the next one.